Igor Tudor is the perfect manager for Spurs in terms of being a short-term appointment. Sacked by Juventus in October, this is a coach who does not hang around in a job for very long. Sign up for the football newsletter. Thank you, Igor Tudor during his time as Lazio boss as he yells instructions from the sidelinesCredit. Getty. Igor Tudor has managed the likes of Lazio, Juventus, Galatasaray and PAOKCredit. Getty. Igor Tudor reacts from the sidelines during his stint in the Marseille dugoutCredit. AFP. Since stepping out of Croatia, where he lasted 70 games with Hajduk Split, he has coached PAOK in Greece, Galatasaray, Udinese, Verona, Marseille, Lazio and Juve, and yet to last more than 48 matches at any of them. Considering they are 16th in the Premier League and just 5 points from safety, the interim appointment of Tudor, 47, who has not managed in this country, is obviously a huge gamble. The centre-back played 55 times for Croatia and spent most of his career at Juventus, playing alongside the likes of Zinedine Zidane, Alessandro Del Piero and Antonio Conte, winning Serie A twice. As a coach, he is known for preferring an aggressive, counter-attacking style of football with a three-man defense, so that should suit Spurs. He is a sort of Sergeant Major type character. Read more on football. He goes into a toxic dressing room at Tottenham which needs sorting out, so maybe he is the man to shake it up, and he generally earns respect from players, particularly due to his playing record. Thomas Frank was not strong enough to change the awful culture among the players, many of whom continue to go through the motions. Tudor will not be going into this with his eyes shut, and he will be aware of the task that faces him. Tudor will go straight into the deep end with the North London derby at home to Arsenal on Sunday. Equally, Arsenal fans were hoping that Frank would last just one more game because now, the atmosphere at the Tottenham Stadium should be bouncing. It will now be an incredibly difficult match for Mikel Arteta's side, most read in sport. Casino Special. Best casino bonuses from £10 deposits. Tudor's managerial record is by no means terrible, but equally, it is not outstanding. Tottenham just need someone to give the squad a kick up the backside and drag them away from the relegation zone. On the plus side, Tudor did well enough at Verona, taking them to 9th place, before leaving for Marseille and managed the team against Spurs in the Champions League in the 2022-23 season. Tottenham won both matches. At the end of that campaign, after 48 matches, he quit Marseille without getting any compensation. He said, "I'm leaving Marseille for private and professional reasons. I haven't signed with anyone and I'm not angry with anyone. Working 1 year at Marseille is like working 2 or 3 years at another club." He took over from former Chelsea boss Maurizio Sarri at Lazio 9 months later, signing an 18-month contract, but quit after less than 3 months after disagreements with the board. Even though he was a former Juve player, and also assisted Andrea Pirlo for 1 season, the club's fans were not exactly dancing in the streets of Turin when he was appointed 11 months ago as Thiago Motta's replacement. His spell at Juventus was miserable, and it was no surprise when he was sacked following a run of 8 games without a win. He managed just 10 victories of his 24 games in charge, drawing 8 and losing 6. And he only lasted into this season because Juventus were unable to snatch Conte away from champions Napoli in the summer. Tudor was always going to get another job. He was on the list to replace Sean Dyche at Nottingham Forest, while there was even talk of him returning to Marseille after the dismissal of Roberto De Zerbi. £569 for 5-night trip to Spanish Grand Prix. Sunsport readers can save £30 with our discount trip to the Spanish Grand Prix. This 5-night holiday in June costs just £569 pp with our exclusive extra 5% discount. The bargain price includes return flights and 5 nights half-board at a 4-star hotel on the Costa Brava, and a 3-day ticket to all the action at the track, plus transfers. To claim your exclusive saving, simply pick up the phone to the Travelodile team on 0204-505-9777 and quote the code F1SUNSPORT. Don't miss out, this special saving is only available until February 28. If you click on a link in this article, we will earn affiliate revenue. Don't miss Spanish GP trip for just £569. While some fans would have liked De Zerbi at Spurs, that would have been a huge mistake and Tudor is a better choice. However, this appointment is obviously a huge risk. He would normally need some time, but that is something Spurs do not have. Whatever happens, it looks as though it is a short-term fix, particularly when you look at Tudor's CV. So the inevitable question is who Spurs are planning to recruit this summer. Could it maybe be a 53-year-old from Argentina who previously managed the club? There is no doubt that Tottenham's beleaguered supporters would love to see the return of Mauricio Pochettino, who feels he has unfinished business at the club. Pochettino is not particularly enjoying his spell as coach of the United States, but considering he is about to go into a World Cup, there was never a chance of him leaving now. Recommended stories. But if Tudor can just bang some heads together, oversee some better performances and results and steer Tottenham to safety, he will have done his job. And then it will be off to another club. Comments.